Hello, great to be with you today. I'm Ken Beasley and joined today with my good friend Ivan Lowe. Pastor John asked us to share a little bit more about our friendship. And before we talk about that, I wanted to mention that we've been doing a book study here at church. We've had over 40 people go through it called The High Definition Leader. It's written by Derwin Gray, and it's about building multi-ethnic churches in a multi-ethnic world. And we're actually going to have another study that's starting here in October. It'll be the 4 Wednesdays in October. So if you're interested in joining us, please send me an email and I'll get you all the information you need. Ivan, you actually were part of the book study with us that we did this summer. And one of the things Derwin talks about is before you need to be building multi-ethnic churches, you need to, as Christians, we need to be living multi-ethnic lives outside of church. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't grow up in a multi-ethnic environment. I grew up in a rural part of North Carolina. The school I went to was all white. All our family friends were white, and really didn't live in a diverse environment until Cindy and I moved here in the mid-90s and lived right here off Harris Boulevard across the street from church, that we lived in a diverse environment. And as part of that, we engaged in some things outside of church. One of them was travel basketball. And that's when we met and our friendship started. And between yourself and others, obviously a lot of African American involved in travel basketball, my world was opened up to how similar I am to people that I thought were a lot different than I was. And we would travel together. We'd stay in houses together, us and other parents, and just enjoyed that experience. And our friendship has grown since then.
Absolutely. Well, I want to just kind of give another plug with the HD Leader workshop. I was very fortunate to participate. It was an awesome experience. I learned a whole lot. You and Cindy, you did an awesome job facilitating that workshop. So I plan on participating again because I now have the book. But I think we came from different paths. But I'm always grateful to God that He allowed us to cross paths many years ago through AAU basketball with coaching both of our youngest sons. And so I was very, very intentional about following the Spirit and maintaining our relationship and our friendship over the years. And those were some really good days that we had, taking vacations together down in Orlando, Florida, getting the families together for fellowship and for a lot of fun. And I will always cherish those days because I agree with you that it is so important to live a multicultural life, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't just talk about it, I wanted to be about it. Because I knew that when you and I met each other and God allowed us to cross paths, our children were very young. And I knew that at some point in time in life, we were going to have to really be about it rather than talk about it. And so I've always tried to demonstrate a multicultural life because I knew that was important for our children. As a matter of fact, when I relocated from Michigan to Charlotte, North Carolina, I told the realtor, my wife and I told the realtor, we want to build a home in the most diverse area of Charlotte, wherever that is. We didn't know a lot about the geographically about Charlotte, but we wanted to make sure that we were in the most diverse area because we felt that was very important as we raised our children. And so I'm glad I was able to demonstrate and show and explain and talk about what a multicultural life was and what it meant to my children. And so now I instilled that in them. So now they are more than likely are going to teach the same thing to their children, whatever point in time that comes. Hopefully it's later rather than sooner.
Yeah, I think sometimes it can be challenging. You mentioned that Sunday, your thing about when your video about getting outside our comfort zone to engage with people different than us, and how do I do that? Where do I do that? I think our kids, obviously, that's what brought us together, and that's a place to do that, whether it's through sports or dance or whatever activities they're in school, that can bring you together, give you a common theme to create some new friendships. So I think people should look for those areas outside their church environment. Another area where I've just made some great friends that are different from me, but once again are so similar than I am. Now I've got to know them, and that's through our connection with Ebenezer. Getting to know Ivory, Coach Rob, Kenny, Howard, just all those group of guys. The friendships I've built, and a lot of us have built, has been great. Tell us a little bit about how that partnership started and about the men's conference that's coming up.
Well, I'm glad you asked. God gives you a lot of opportunities to bridge the gap and establish the relationships. But again, we have to seize those opportunities, and many times we don't. And so I was grateful to you, Ken, years ago when you invited me to your men's conference here at University City United Methodist. And I was received in a very warm and welcoming manner from the men here. And so you and I, we kind of had a conversation about having our men's conference together, partnering with Ebenezer, University City to kind of join forces and have our men's conference together. That was about 4 years ago. And at that time, we came up with the theme, Better Together. And so, it has blossomed into many, many opportunities to serve together, to worship together, to have food and fellowship together, and those different kinds of things over the years. And then one of the things I want to add is that this year, our joint men's conference through our partnership is going to be on Saturday, September the 12th from 9 until noon. It will be via Zoom. And so we're looking forward to another successful conference. We still have the same theme, Better Together, Growing in Christ. And so we're really looking forward to that. And so, but I'm very grateful for the time that we had an opportunity to build and strengthen and do so many things over the years with both of our churches. It's just amazing on how far we have come. And all of the men, they consistently treat me so well here at University City, the kindred spirit, and meeting Ed and Lynn and Charles and Chuck and Matt, and it goes on and on and on. Zach. And so it's been such a blessing. And one of the things that I'm very grateful for is the support from our pastors, Dr. Lynch and Dr. Boggs. They have really embraced the partnership, which it's a testament of their commitment to partnership and the multicultural life and those kinds of things that we've been alluding to. So it's been wonderful.
And I think back to 2018 when our churches had the joint Easter services together.
Right.
Our choirs came together, our drama groups came together, and we did a worship here at our church and a worship at your church. And that was one of the most powerful spiritual church environments I've ever been in. There's a phrase in a U2 song that talks about his kingdom come when all colors will bleed into one.
That's right.
And that was, what Derwin talks about here in HD Leader. It's a challenge for us as our church, University City, in this diverse environment. We've made so much progress, but if we're intentional, we can do much more, right?
That's right. It's all about intentionality. It's intentionality because, God gets the glory whenever we can dispel the myths and even some of the realities of a lot of divisiveness today. We are dispelling that, and we are the proof and the living examples that we are better together, and it can be done. But again, it goes back to intentionality. We have to seize these opportunities to not only develop relationships, but just nurture them and maintain them and watch them grow and blossom over time. And so that's pretty much where we are. That's been our story.
Exactly. Well, I look forward to being with you in an HD Leader study in October, and the men's conference. Appreciate once again y'all letting us be part of that, and it's going to be another powerful day of testimony and relationship building and learning, where God's leading each church and each of us personally. So
that's it.
Enjoyed the conversation today, Ivan.
Likewise. And Ken, I'm grateful to God to be part of your family.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Love you much.
Love you and Natalie and the kids, and just enjoy our what you've taught me, not only about our relationship and people different from me, but spiritually, faith, and just thank you for that.
Hey, you got it. We learn together.